Well, good day, footy fans. Welcome to Caterer Oval in suburban Hackney, home of St Peter's College, and this afternoon, home of St Peter's Old Collegians. It's first semi-final day, and for one, they get to go on. For the other, their season will be run and done. It is St Peter's Old Collegians hosting Rostrevor Old Collegians. My name's Phil Hurd, joined by the maestro of Masters Football and AFL Asia and the Adelaide Footy League. You got a finger in a few pies. Matt Gale, welcome, Matt.
Phil Hurd, absolutely delightful to be with you this afternoon. Real honour and privilege to be at this first semi-final clash. We've got a belter on our hands, Phil. St Peter's Old Collegians and Rostrevor Old Collegians. Both teams have had a cracking season, particularly St Peter's. First half of the season, they really set themselves up. After round 10, they were 8-2, remarkably. And so was Port District and Sacred Heart on the same day. Sacred Heart got demolished that day by Port District. Golden Grove smashed St Peter's, and it was probably a bit of a turning point in their season. Therefore, from then on, it was the Rostrevor, Golden Grove and Port District show, because in the second half of the season, and for the remaining 8 games, or the remaining 9 games in fact, St Peter's went 4-1-4, whereas the guys out in front of us right here, Rostrevor went 6-2. Yeah. So they've had a really impressive 8 out of the last 10 games they've won. And sights are really set because St Peter's have got a lot of injuries, Phil. Let's face
it's
it.
A very different
Rostrevor,
side.
steam train, coming home. They've had a really good second half of the year. A great back 9 in golfing terms, and we've got a splendid day for it. Conditions a little bit different to what we were forecasted, Phil.
Yeah, it was told to break out the polo and even the shorts with 25. I don't think we're there. There's a strong northeasterly coming in, keeping things cool, and it's overcast. Probably not bad conditions to play in, but you're right about Rocks. Coming home like a steam train, both in the season and in plenty of matches this year, including last week's elimination final, gave Sacred Heart pretty much a 5-goal head start, wheeled them in, and it was the defence that did the job. Sacred Heart had 5 goals to quarter time, and after quarter time they kicked 1 goal 12, which must have been very frustrating for Hearts fans. At times Rocks weren't much better, but they did kick 3 goals in the final quarter to emerge victorious and make their way here to St Peter's today.
St Peter's, an amazing season. They really set themselves up. They got 8 recruits in at the start of the year, and unfortunately 5 of those recruits are out this afternoon, which is a sad note because they've had a highly successful season. Last week they played Golden Grove. They lost by 50 points away at Harper's Field there. Amazingly, Phil, they conceded 10 goals in the second term and 5 in the final quarter. I can't believe it. It was 15 goals won they conceded in the second and fourth quarters. They outscored Golden Grove in the second half by a few points, but they're unbeaten on their home deck, St Peter's. They have got a lot to play for, but this is going to be an absolute unbelievable game.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the start of the season, St Peter's, who'd been flirting with relegation the previous few years, and were probably tipped to be one that might be relegated this year. So they've gone beyond maybe normal expectations to play finals. Rostrevor are defending premiers in Division 2. They made the step up. When you do that, I guess your number one priority is survive and everything else is a bonus. Well, they've made top 4 as well. So we've got 2 sides that, well, they're going to be disappointed they lose today, especially St Peter's in straight sets. If you start where they were at the start of the season, you summed it up. They've both had good years. It's a case where they can go on one more week and be the dark horse against what we think is going to be the 2 playing in the grand final. They're playing in the second semi shortly, which is Port District and Golden Grove.
Port District and Golden Grove, they're going to be hard to beat. You've got to go through Golden Grove this year, 1 or 2, and Port District. You've got to go through both of them, no doubt. Whoever gets a crack here today will deserve it. If Rostrevor can beat St Peter's on their home deck, unbeaten so far this year, I think it's going to be one in the ruck. Young McCarthy only debuted in round 10, coming up against Butterworth. He did go overseas. Butterworth featuring in the best players, 11 out of 16 games. He was away for 3 weeks, so he could have potentially had another 2 or 3 on top of that. But I reckon he's one of the premier big men in the competition. He's just a rung below Lysett, but he's an instrumental player. Played his whole career at the Rocks as well.
Yeah. Do you want to thank our sponsors? We're not too far away. St Peter's have broken their huddle. Rock's not too far away.
So filming footy, Sports Interactive Classic Clashes, custom by ORTC, High 5E Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks, in Kimberley Resorts. The Jag Meatworks will get who will jag the snag of the day for Jag Meatworks there at Arndale for a kilo.
Is this a snag of the day?
This is a snag of the day, kilo of gourmet snags.
I have never done a snag of the day game.
Well, we're up for a huge one this afternoon with Phil Hurden. I'll tell you what, I reckon Phil Hurden's had a few snags. Don't forget the Kimberley Resorts as well. I did speak to Row at Warudi yesterday. He was up there and he said it was boiling hot in Broome. He ran an interview and he from behind the camera yesterday, so he's up there at Broome at the moment in the Kimberley Resorts.
Cheerio to Rowan if he's tuned in.
Don't forget also the Farmers Leap Winery there at Pathway. I did see one of our Div 1 coaches get that award. He was a recipient of 3 bottles of random notes.
Well, it looks like Rocks. I'm going to assume they won the toss. They're going with the breeze to the southern end, the school end. It'll be St. Peter's heading our way to the River Torrens end. But we're set to rock and roll. Who will survive, who will finish up, we'll know in 4 quarters' time as the umpires, and I'll tell you who they are in a sec. Matt Harris and Paul Smith are your field umpires. They look around to check the field is cleared. It is. The siren sounds. We're underway, and you're with Matt Gale.
Butterworth up against McCarthy. Butterworth gets the tap. They stream out through Wharton. Wharton goes down Main Street. Clever kick. No mark taken. Comes out the back here. Snap opportunity will beat all comers as they run out of tarmac. And the ball within the hands there of Ryan Lim. Had a terrific season, Lim. Played the 18 games and amongst the best players on 50% of the occasions in the Peninsula boy. So ball to be thrown in. 20 metres around from the Rocks goal. Good tap. Bedford was a shallow throw in. And muscled and hustled should be held up there. 2 changes to the lineup this afternoon for St. Peter's Old Collegians. Henry Nelligan, Scott Bedford, welcome return for them. But unfortunately, Jesse McKinnon and Ted Newman out. Quick snap out of the contest. Looks like it's inside that post. And unfortunately, a minor score. I thought we had a pretty good angle of that from our viewing point in the broadcast position, but a little bit narrow there, Phil Hurden. First minor score here to St. Peter's on the Kieran scoreboard.
So it's going to be SPOC. And in the school end was down there because that's where the facilities are this afternoon. We've got a few of the students, some of the boarders maybe having a look around. They'll work their way around the outer side, the hillside, but getting in the way is Kemp. He was huge last week, took many a big mark along with Boxer, and he's found a target. And I reckon that looks like Lanzoni. He's wearing the short sleeves today. I guess no one's really going to be wearing the longs with a forecast of 25, and he'll get the first set shot. And this is where we struggle, Matt. How far out do we reckon he is?
I think he's... we've also got the running track, which may...
There's a lot of lines out there.
There's a lot of lines out there at the moment.
Well, I do know he's got the wind at his back and he knows how to kick them. 38 goals. Lead all comers for Rocks. Make that 39. And it's all starting very well for the visitors. On the Kieran Yoketsu scoreboard, they are 117. SPOC yet to go forward of centre.
Lanzoni is a remarkable goal sneak up there. Pure goal sense. He kicked 7 goals against Broadview. Watched him earlier on in the season, and 39 for the season. He's third on the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 goal kicking list, which is remarkable for a small forward. And if you let him off the leash, he will destroy every time. You see that beautiful left to right angle with the wind assailing between the coach's box and the grandstand. Comes out towards Tranfer. He's held up immediately. I love the look at Tranfer. He is an absolute jet. Runs with a Lamborghini engine, that lad.
Yeah, and he's...
loves a goal too. It's a ball thrown up. Good tap there by McCarthy. Goes towards Bedford. Tranfer leads all comers. Left footer goes backwards. Good system here. Quickly off the boot there of Thomas. Goes to half forward, no one home. And a clever mark there to McCarthy.
So McCarthy has it. He's going to go to the eastern wing. Then you see the ball held up. That's straight into the breeze. Rocks have some numbers. They've got the mark. This will be Will Mead. Just the attacking side of centre. No one on the mark, which is an interesting... But have that lack of discipline. It's a huge kick. You just saw the breeze. And we've got a free kick. Will go the way of St. Peter's. Well, they have the ball anyway. Just took the advantage, and they're off down the outer wing.
So great mark there by De Cesare. Saw his mother earlier. Bought a couple of cans of Coke off Mrs. Ches. Clever kick to Scotty Bedford. Then to reach up mighty high for that one. Fantastic to see him back on the lineup. Had a hamstring, been out since the drawn game here against Salisbury North. So they quickly play on. Clever work around the man on the mark. I've got one out towards us, Phil, but he's not trying to make that target. Quick clean up. Oh, lovely work. Tramper whacks it on the boot. He's got one out wider here. Bounces off the chest. Lanzoni is lurking. Clever work by Ed Allen. And the ball's held up. The umpire Smith calls a free kick. A high one. Looks like a high fend off from Harvey George. Oh, taken high. He's been struggling to get to his feet. So again, that mark there, free kick is to Ryan Lim. So Lim started well. Just a little jab. Finds Butcher, having a breakout season, Butcher. Clever little kick. Finds the chest there of Stepic. So Stepic goes to the pocket. The wind, as you can see, just takes that ball and drifts it out. Umpire's found a free kick for a push in the back. So the weight of that ball drifted, and Finn Wakeland just held his ground.
Yeah, this would be a
St. Peter's
kick.
Defender was a little bit undisciplined then, gave away the push. Umpire was right on the spot. And Finn Wakeland hugged up against the boundary line. Had it in a different season this year. Kicked 40 goals last year. He's kicked the 29 this year. I think played more as a second ruck as well. He's been amongst the best players on 5 occasions this year. Played every game this season. Interested to make this 2 in a row with the Rocks faithful right behind him. Deliberate approach from Wakeland. Has he kicked it? He has! They're on fire, the Rocks. Wonderful start. And 2-1-13 on the Curran who gets his scoreboard. SPOC's yet to get it inside 450.
Yeah, yet to really get anything forward to centre yet. This is worst nightmare for the home side. As Matt Gale mentioned, unbeaten at home, 9 games played, 8 wins, 1 draw. That was a draw on the final kick of the day too, to Salisbury North. Rocks, well, their kicking for goals been very good. 2 long set shots. That one using the breeze to curl it back beautifully by Wakeland. So that's one, a tap to McCarthy, but again, it's going to be, well, looked like it was going to be Rocks with the clearance. Turns out to be St. Peter's. Not for long, no. Dawson with some help from Mead. They've got a corridor to work with. They'll bring it out on the broadcast side. The Zoo side here at St. Peter's College. Demetrius, who was slightly injured last week, took some time off in the game but came back. His kick though untouched. Set it off halfway to school. St. Peter's ball on the last disposal rule.
So here Nello, nestled up in that left back pocket. Comes down the line, lovely looking kick. Plenty of height on the ball, goes in the direction of George. He comes from 5 deep. Butterworth, can he do the roving, the big man? Just nestles it over the boundary line. The boundary throw in. As we mentioned, Big Butterworth, he's had a fantastic season. McCarthy's started well against him, growing in stature week on week. And he need to be at his best this afternoon. Butterworth commands the front spot. They both get a 0-0 draw in the ruck. Clever little tap towards the boundary line. Got a clip there now, brothers. Asking the umpire for a free kick and nothing doing. So, interesting phase of this quarter. Opening stanza, 13, play 0, 7.5 minutes down. On the Curran who gets his scoreboard. Good tap there by McCarthy. Comes out the back, great attack on the ball there by Shoot. And the Shooter's had a terrific season. I think he's earned himself a free kick in the process. So, true centre wing. He's got players on. Does he go inboard or does he go more centralised? He does that central corridor on the 45. Wakeland comes from a couple deep there. Ball comes out the back end. He's held up. And umpire calls my ball. 30 from home here for Rostrevor. Looking for their third, Phil. This would be a huge blow if they can get one here against another one on the board.
Yeah, heads towards that goal line. St. Peter's defence under all sorts of trouble. It's been picked up and kicked by, I think that was Boxer, who was absolutely massive last week. Kicked the goal, first goal for Rocks when they were in trouble. It started the comeback. Kicked a big one in the final quarter and did plenty of great work around the ground in between. So a miss, it's 2-2-14 to Donuts thus far. See the breeze take that one. Looks for Bedford. That's actually a beautiful pinpoint pass. Ty Bedford, outmatched, got plenty of the ball, but outmatched by Golden Grove last week. And St. Peter's, well, this is probably one of their best series of play. They've actually had 3 touches, make that 4 touches of the ball. Ooh. Make that 5. Now they've run into trouble. Is it a turnover on the half-forward flank? It is. That's a high kick. It's going to land in the goal square. Let the Breeze take that away. Wakeland's got it. 2 St. Peter's players have got him. And I tell you what, there's a group of Rostrevor supporters who've taken over the grandstand and are making a racket. Makes it feel like it's Rocks at home, not the boys in blue. And they've got plenty to cheer for. It's a Rocks free kick.
That might be Wakeland again.
I reckon it is. And this is...
It is too.
Well, nothing's a lay down misère, but he's already had the cider from here and he kicked the goal with it.
Oh, this is much closer and a better angle.
You know, I think basically you aim for that far goal post and let the Breeze swing it right in. Wouldn't this be something? 3 goals unanswered. I mean, Rocks combined last week and this week would have kicked about 12 of the last 13 goals. On a roll. But nothing is certain. Kicking for goal. Wakeland in. Stabs. And misses.
He poked that one. He tried to guide it and end up poking it. So 2-3 may have ruined an opportunity there. 2-3-15. 10 minutes down, opening term. Weeks plays on. Comes out towards the coach's box side. Harvey George needs to get a punch here. He does. Gets it towards the boundary line. Intercepted. They come out the back. Great work there to Thomas. Goes inboard. Clever pick up. Got the shovel move going well. Smothered ball comes out of that forward entry. So clever hand pass. Need to be clean here. They are. Oh, lovely little kick. Comes out towards Ed Coley. Clean bowls him. And an awesome pick up there by Swanbury, the attacking back flanker. Goes over his intended target. Umpires pulled a drag down on Ed Allen. And deservedly so. It sounds like Ed's playing at his at an away ground at the moment. Such as the Indocoal feel around the place. So Ed Allen, clever with ball in hand, goes towards Johnny Reid. He's come a long way up the ground, need to get involved. Yeah, he's gone the shoulder, so it is Johnny Reid's free kick. No, it is, sorry, it'll be a free kick there to Maxie Henry. So they go long to the hot spot, anyone home, good punch. Should have intended that mark, should have taken the mark, should have punched. So McGill, no one home, and an easy mark on the last line of defence there by Paddy Dawson. Dawson much better with another chance. There goes the Steppage.
Steppage in front of the hurdles and the sprinters track. We must be having a sports day or just had one.
Next week, they said.
Next week, so they're getting ready for it. Hence the extra lines you may be seeing around the field at the moment. It's by the boundary line. We know that because there's a nice ring of fans. In fact, I reckon this is the largest crowd I've seen here in a SPOC home game. As you would expect, it's the last home game they're going to have this season. We'll go to neutral sites next week for prelim final. And, of course, only 2 weeks today, Matt, and it will be grand final day across all 7 men's divisions in the Adelaide Footy League. Will SPOC be in one? Their Bs got knocked out earlier by Golden Grove. Their A's need a score. They've at least got it inside 50. The ball takes 2 crooked bounces. It works in the end for SPOC. Kick around the body by Harvey George. Misses. One eluded everybody, and the second bad bounce hit George in the lap. Couldn't convert on the snap. But they have a score. 2-3-15 Rocks. 1 behind to SPOC.
DeMatteis to do the kick-in duties. Sizes up his options. Goalless in 2025. DeMatteis. Goes straight down Main Street. Tan through a ball in hand. Whistles himself out. Clever work. Breaks away. There's Murata. Murata goes to half forward. A little bit of heat on that kick. Comes out the back to Benny and Ianello. Amazingly started the season with PAC round 1 to 3.
Yeah.
And then come in round 4. Straight into the lineup. Ball comes out. Clever mark. It's played to Murata. He goes back there to Lim. Started well. Industrious start from Lim. Goes inside forward 50. No mark taken. Ball comes to ground. Clever little pick up. There's the third to Baldwin. So Bo Baldwin goes bang, the Eyre Peninsula boy. Played every game this year and kicks his 9th for the season. So splendid start here by the Rock and Rolls. 3-3-21, plays 1 point on the Cooner, gets his scoreboard. We're 13.5 down, opening stanza.
Well, all season long we've been used to Rocks playing from behind and having the big comeback. They came from 29 points down round 2 to beat Prince Alfred, and Prince Alfred never recovered from that. Then Salisbury North, I called that game at the Campbelltown. They were down 39 points early in the second quarter, came back and won 2. And last week, I mean, that's 3. There's also a couple of others. We know how they play from behind. How are they going to play in front? They've got a really good advantage. That said, they do have the wind in this first quarter. So,
what do you think that win's worth, Phil? I was just trying to work it out. It's definitely a good 3 or 3.
Yeah.
Definitely 3.
It's not straight north-south, so it does require some management. But just the sheer field position is really working Ruck's way as Baldwin, the goal scorer, tackled. Ball spills free. Spills fortuitously around the body to Lanzoni. Now they need a bounce. It's about 40 metres out. Everyone's shepherding. No one getting the ball. Here they come. In front of a pretty big crowd behind the goals. That's the licensed bar area that we have here at the school. Plenty of plastic chairs for everybody. They're filling up nicely. And what they'll be hoping, at least the home fans, is a little more competitive than last week when they had a really bad second half of the second quarter. Golden Grove kicked 10 in the second, and about 8 of those were in about a 12-minute period. It was quite something to watch. But what they've got to do now is stop the flow and get one back themselves, and they'll find themselves back in this contest at the 15-minute mark.
So good punch, straight down there, and we'll have another rinse and repeat. Working the ruck there. Bedford comes up as the third man up. Have a little tap down Murata. Left foot peg. Goes to the pocket. Unfortunately, Ed Allen reads that superbly. So Ed Allen just pokes one to the top of the square. Cormac asked to come back. They go to the pocket again to Weeks. Clever work there by Weeks. Saw his mother in the canteen a little bit earlier. Thank you very much for the couple of cans of Coke.
And his dad works the barbecue and said, "G'day, remember me? I sat next to you in class in 1986.
Jeepers creepers. Phil heard him. Taking a walk down memory lane. Goes out to Scotty Bedford. Lovely kick using the depth of that breeze excellently. Bedford looks in board. He had one on. And Jimmy Higgins decided against. Still got Jimmy Higgins on short. Needs to go down the line now. No, he doesn't. Well, weighted kick in the end. So just trying to get the ball with some composure because Mount Carruthers is the perfect man to be doing this.
A little bit of keep the ball away from Rocks for a while.
Well, they do. They need to just build a little bit of momentum and go into an arm wrestle mode. Bedford, clever mark. Can they get one against the grain here? Spockos. Clever work. They've got one on out wide and McGill. Does he play on? No, he holds back. He ends up chipping over. Lovely one to Johnny Reid. Lovely little chiseler. And Johnny Jukebox gets those jukes out. Sorry, Fergus Carruthers. And Fergus Carruthers, amazingly, has
well
played every game since round 17, 2022, Phil.
That's consistency.
It'll be a right to left situation. Tricky breeze because he's got it going over his left, basically over his right shoulder and through his back there. So Carruthers' deliberate approach. Do they need a goal? And drifts late. So another minus score to the Spockos. And it's 19 points to margin, 17.5 down. Opening term here for Kieran Ugitsu.
Yeah, that breeze has picked up a bit.
It has.
And up to Spock to try and keep it in, but nice leader mark taken by Kemp.
Great size, isn't he, Kemp?
Yeah. Moves it on, Demetrius. Telio down the wing. It's going to flirt with the boundary line. Oh, beautiful grab.
Fantastic,
in the field of play. Had to stretch for it was Boxer. He'll centre the ball with a long raking kick. So what's that? 3 kicks. They're in scoring territory. And most of the goals have come from that area of the field so far. St. Peter's, though, have worked it out. Oh, look at this one. It's going to land in the car park. It has landed in the car park.
That might be the reprieve that St. Peter's actually need at the moment.
Well, they get a breath while they fetch the footy. Just glad it didn't collect a car coming in or out. This will be an interesting insurance claim. Umpire he takes a seat from the boundary. It's Natrinsky, sorry. And right into said barbecue. And we'll be throwing. Got to protect the barbecue. So that's where the majority of the crowd are going to go to get a good view of this play. 1 minute to go before time on. Box of the thumb from behind back to the boundary line. Pick up by SPOC. I'm not even sure that barely went into the field of play. In fact, it's going to be ruled another throw-in. They're a rowdy mob, those Rocks boys in the grandstand.
They certainly are. So it must be about 40 from home there, Phil. We've just got a stack of lines there. Sports Day coming up next week here at St. Peter's. That wasn't the intended ruck contest. Bedford. He's gone there, Bedford. Strong tackling by Lim. So he started superbly, Lim. Goes to the hot spot. Ball holding up in the breeze. No mark taken. Quick kick out of the contest. And well done by Eddie Weeks, who's been a rocket Gibraltar back there this season. Missing Tommy Rundle. It's an half back. This is huge out. Tommy Rundle goes a long one down the line. It's going to fall short. Cesare ends up marking it. But umpire's found a free kick. Some holding off. It'll go to Will Mead. Been clever with ball in hand. So Mead, true centre wing, far side. I like when the ball's out this side, Phil. I think that's the way to bring it around, is to go the far side. Not good for commentators and viewers, but better for players.
Probably better for
the use of the breeze, more importantly.
Probably better for the viewers. You get the camera that can tighten up on the angle.
Well, the viewers at home will, but no, he's not playing. We said he'd love to be Tom Rundle out there. All right, so good work there on that far side. Clever work by Tramfer on the opposite. Goes inside forward 50. Quickly comes out. They need a settler. Lovely kick, well weighted. And terrific mark, and an easy mark at the end of Dawson, who just drifted in there excellently. And he's had a calm head down backfield. Drifted forward with the float of this play, and he's made an impressive start.
Yeah, one of my favourite Rocks players. Usually in the long sleeve, actually, Dawson, but not today.
Dawson was another one that went overseas with Butterworth and a few of the C graders. Had to chat with Paddy Dawson's mum back in round 10, I believe it was. So Dawson, deliberate approach, goes to left to right, too much right, and drifts late for a minor score.
Any right, it's going to be
3-4-22. They're quick on the scoreboard here, the scoreboard attendance. 20 points to margin, Phil, as we enter time on. Opening term for Kieran Ugetsu.
Well, I feel this feeling SPOC, those 3 goals came pretty early. 20-point margin is as catastrophic given the strength of the wind as its head's out of bounds.
It's a manageable lead at the moment that they're going to have to mow down.
A neutral situation for them at the moment is almost a win. The breeze seriously gusting now. And as you would have noticed, it's not straight down the ground. You've got to allow for it to go left to right when you're shooting for goals down that end. Wharton just got it in hand. Lynn, another touch to centre half for the fly. No one could grab it by the boundary. A quick DeMatteis fumbled. The Rocks fan, oh, here we go. It's an all-in. Stacks on the middle. Umpire just grabs the ball and throws it up. And
good work.
There's still a couple going at it, but the rest went for the ball, not for the
thank
fight.
God it got spiked out, Phil. So plenty of advice there from the Rocks faithful. And Lanzoni had his head chewed off. He's gone down again, Lanzoni. Nothing doing from the umpires. Good tap down. And that one looks like it's, the pressure meter's starting to rise, which is fantastic. It's what the fans want.
Yeah.
23 minutes, just about to tick over. Opening term. Grabbed out of the ruck. Hand passes backwards. Good work there by Lim. Had a stack of it. Important contest. Had an airy with the punch. Straight off the boot and sways out of bounds. Almost missed another complete set of goals there. But they're peppering the goals. As you mentioned, Phil, SPOCs have...
He did. He missed a whole lot.
He did. SPOCs have had to go in an arm wrestle moment. They've been pretty good because I reckon they haven't conceded a goal for a good 15 minutes.
Well, this will be where coaches earn their money and they say, well, this is what we're doing in the first quarter. It all changes in the second. Which team can play the conditions the best? St. Peter's trying to keep it by the boundary line. Interesting little taut punt. Thomas is in good position to send it back. In fact, it's 3-on-1 Rocks. Ends up with Natransky. He goes across field to Mead. Mead's got an open wing to play with. Overcooks it, looking for Baldwin. And Baldwin will get back to it, but not before it crosses the far boundary line. Will be a throw-in. Again, another win for SPOC, keeping it at a scoring range with 24 minutes gone.
It's a clever punch by Bel Perrier. And on a 1-on-2, it's exactly what they needed to reset. Good punch by Butterworth, searching ball down the line. Tranther gets his hair pass away and is escorted over the boundary line. And umpire Smith says...
free kick.
Free kick for last possession out of bounds. That's my third or fourth cousin, Phil.
How many
Paul
you got?
Smith. Yeah, he's a great lad. He messaged me last week, and unfortunately I was in Thailand, telling me which game he's going to umpire. Goes to Harvey George, couldn't clunk. Geez, they're quick, their hands are smooth, brought down. Good work there by an elegant, just trying to inject himself into the contest. Been slim pickings for him so far. Collie couldn't take the ball with him. Playing for the free kick there was DeMatteis. Butterworth mops up. Great work by the big man. Stippick goes out wider. Does it stay into transfer? It does.
Big win for Rock.
Good build up here. Can they get another one before the quarter time whistle, quarter time siren? Tranther just taking his time, sizing him up. He's a clever left footer. Goes the pump. Is there anyone out the back there? Great contest. And needed to be there. Oh, is it deliberate? Umpire says, throw it in, please.
I used to say with great clarity and confidence that there's no such thing as deliberate out of bounds in the Adelaide Footy League, quote unquote. And then I actually saw one paid about 4 weeks back. So I'm not quite so
well, when you've got the last possession
anymore.
out of bounds rule, it sort of takes away a lot of that straight out of the situation.
Great. Little grubber kick. St. Peter's gaining some meterage. And will be last disposal.
Yep.
Now this is, I reckon I can see a 50-metre arc there. And this is right where the breeze is coming from.
Is that Baldwin with ball in hand?
I'm suspecting it is. I'm just having a look and I cannot see a number 6
I'm just looking
elsewhere.
at the replay. It is
The joy
Baldwin.
of having the replay. So Baldwin is showing all the signs. He's a long way out. Will kick just outside 50, but has the breeze. Puts it up for it to carry. It's going to be close and it hits the goal post about 3/4 up. That could have gone 55-60. But behind it is 3-6-24. Now Rock's made the most of their opportunities. SPOC are two behind.
Bedford's ball smothered. Oh.
Siren went.
I think the siren just
Yeah.
beat Transfer there. What a late surge. And that goal, 2 seconds later, makes their scoreboard out to a 27-point lead, but it won't be. 21 points is the margin at quarter time of the Kieran Getsu scoreboard. We've got St. Peter's with the breeze in the second term. We'll bring back all the action after the break.
Welcome back, quarter time. The huddles have broken. Matt Gale, you're a coach right now. What messages would you be sending to your charges of both teams?
I'd be saying that St. Peter's, we need to get ball in hand. We've been outclassed in the first term. They've had the breeze, no doubt. The breeze doesn't do it. But I believe that Rostrevor left a couple out there.
Yeah.
If I was Rostrevor, I'd be coming out to the coach's side every time, go into arm wrestle mode at all costs, and then try and sneak one against the grain and a counter-attack. But St. Peter's, unbeaten all year, stage is set for them. They either bounce back into this game or they're going to go out straight set. Simple as that, Phil. In this quarter, we normally say the premiership quarter is the most important. I think the most important is this one coming up right now.
Well, it's a bit like cricket. We want to see how both teams bat, what the pitch is like, because the conditions are something to deal with. I watched a bit of the Rezzies game, which Golden Grove, by the way, won comfortably by 70 points. They go on to the prelim. And teams could score down the River Torrens northern end. Back underway, second quarter, you're with Matt Gale.
So great tap there, comes out to Tranthor. He's been busy. Almost kicked that goal after the siren there. Wasn't included. Umpires found a free kick. No, he hasn't. So we'll have a rinse and repeat. Butterworth gets the punch. Goes towards Lim. He was taken high right in front of us. So Lim started superbly. Goes to the pocket. Got a hot spot. Option on. Taken down. No free kick. Unbelievable. So they go through Mount Carruthers. Nelligan been quite early doors. Coming back from that hamstring. They dish out the Grant out the back. Taken down. McGill. Nelligan. Goes back to McGill. Clever movement. Still mucking around with it. Need to be cleaner. Goes to Bedford, the big bear cat. Looks strong, couldn't take it. And casual as laconic as you like, goes to his cousin, Scotty Bedford, plays on, sells some candy. Does he go from home? And the breezing is as strong as we thought. And Stippick takes that lovely mark on the last line of defence.
That did not deviate. How did that not deviate? It looked like,
there's no deviation. I think you've got to get it right behind that goal.
Almost get into the slipstream,
no major deviation.
Yeah, that was... I thought, he's gone very wide left. This will be interesting when it comes back.
It's a swirlier type of breeze.
Yeah, maybe. So, Rocks have it in front of the clubhouse. Straight to Bedford, though. Back in the team this week's been busy. Lines up the play, and SPOC are going to get their first decent shot on goal. And a chance to get their first major on the board. It's going to be in the hands of Nick Michaels. Just a quick update from Largs Reserve, Country Living Homes Reserve. Port District 3-1-19, Golden Grove 1-2-8. That's about the 20-minute mark of the first quarter. No idea if there's a breeze, and if so, who's got it. But SPOC have it here. It's about going for the left behind post, watching it curve back, and missed.
Oh, he's hit the timber.
Oh, hit the timber. So that's the second one, second poster to that post, actually.
We've had in this game. Interesting kick by Nick Michaels. He's been goalless in 3 of his last 5 games. Johnny Reid obviously gone back to the forward line, so may have changed his role somewhat. Goes to Paddy Dawson. Started well. He's only about 63 kilos ringing wet, Paddy Dawson, but he bounces off. He's a bit of an Indian rubber man. Pokes one out, goes out wide. Cool, calm and collected for a young fella, Paddy Dawson. He's got that baby face look, Phil. So another one down the line. Nudged under that ball, and tunneling was the call. Stransky, they played on the advantage. Bedford tries to hold up. Grant comes in as well. Should be last possession out of bounds, and it is.
Yeah, baby face.
Good to see the pressure building here from the Spockos, Phil.
Yeah, they need to. This is, I think you're right. If they don't have a great second quarter, they're staring right in the face of a straight sets defeat. They haven't won a final since the 2019 elimination. So, of course, in 2018, they were undefeated Division 2 premiers, been in Division 1 since 2019. Kick forward by Rocks. Now it's going to be a race for pace coming across Ed Allen. Lanzoni will get there first. He'll just put boot on the ball. Where's this going to land? And surprisingly, the breeze takes it across the face. Last disposal rule as it lands by the scoreboard. The Kieran Yoketsu scoreboard. Rocks 3-5-23, SPOC 3 behinds.
So Eddie Weeks right up against the Kieran Yoketsu scoreboard. Plays on around the man on the mark. Goes with that driving ball. Lovely kick. Johnny Reid just couldn't take the mark there up against two. They go out the back. Good work there by Lim. They dish off. So Wharton. Wharton's got one out here near our broadcast position. Not his best kick, and a turnover to Jimmy Higgins. So Higgins has got McGill on and goes out wide. Need to play that far side today. It's the most easiest way of using that breeze. Bedford starting to build nicely. They've been a terrific campaigner in 2025. Oh, dangerous kick. Lanzoni gets a punch in. Comes back to McGill. Couldn't work himself into it. Dawson goes to transfer. Lovely kick to Wakeland. Good punch by Weeks. Wakeland's back for a second viewing. Belperio. Geez, they're mucking around with it, St. Peter's. Weeks back to Belperio. Needs to whack it on the boot. Weeks fortuitously lands in the lap there of Mount Carruthers, who didn't look convincing.
It couldn't have been better with the pass. It just didn't look like that was intentional. So it's with Ty Bedford inbound. Sets it up for Ianella. You're right. Prince Alfred to St. Peter's. We're probably count on one hand players that have transferred between those two organisations over time. The Inter-Kyle Arch rivals. Rock's in the way on the half-back flank. Demetrius, 1-2 hand pass. Out towards the outer side. Mead's got some work to do, has some help. Inbound kick, this is where it's going to fall apart. Sits with Malachi Carruthers. Now this is where we saw Rocks play on pretty quickly. St. Peter's a little more stunted, a little bit more static. Now they'll go with the long kick. It's going to land inside 50. Butterworth says, thank you very much. That's my breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Great work by Butterworth. They go on that far side. Just a clever little build up here by the Rocks. Would love a goal against the grain because the Spockos 6 minutes in yet to hit the Kieran who gets his scoreboard on the goal front. Strong tackling at ground level. Pressure meters lifting. Wharton's got a hand in and he dragged down is that Belperio? So Nelligan, sorry. So Nelligan, huge injection into the lineup this afternoon. And this time it's Belperio. Too far out to score. Goes a jab, lovely kick. Bedford couldn't hold on for the ride. Ball at ground level, bobbling around. Clever pick up by De Cesare. Goes backwards to Ianello. Lovely position for a left footer. And drifts late for a minor score. Geez, I would have loved to score a goal there, Phil. Yeah. So 3 points is the margin to 3-5-23. 20 points the margin on the Kieran who gets his scoreboard. We're almost 7 minutes down second term, Phil.
I mean, it's an even second quarter. It was a pretty even last half of the first quarter. Rock's 3 goals came pretty early in the process. Problem for SPOC is they've got the breeze. They need to get some scoreboard pressure happening. They'll have a chance here with Charlie Allen. Allen's kick, though, intended for Fergus Carruthers, fell short. Rock's player might be Demetrius, just a little hobbly. Kick down the wing, big pack flies. Wharton is depossessed, holding the ball. Charlie Allen will take it. I don't know, Matt, I just want to see SPOC move with a bit of speed.
Yeah, they haven't had much speed on the ball and they haven't been very direct. I find they haven't used this breeze as well as they would like so far. So clever kick to Belperio. Now I think he's in range here. That man on the mark appears to be about 50.
He's at about the 300 metre mark.
He's on the bend. He's on the elbow.
That's it. He's going to kick from lane.
He's got the Kathy Freeman slot lane there, the international sprint lane. So Belperio made for this situation. Geez, he cleaned up at the start of the season. He was in the best players 3 of the first 4. Left footer can punch, a right footer can punch. The ball goes left to right, goes right straight away. And unfortunately, a minor score. So ruining some opportunities. At the 5 points on the Kieran who gets his scoreboard.
3 goals, 10 in totality kicked, and I reckon we've had
goals are like diamonds. I think if you get 10 goals today, you'll win by 3.
Yeah. 9 behind. I reckon it's 9 behinds in succession in this game as Wakeland takes a good grab. Sorfin Wakeland lead Rocks back. Huge comeback against Salisbury North that proved important later in the season in that tight tussle to play finals. He's found Natransky. I've had a few different definitions. This is the latest one.
I'll go on the Kransky one because that's what I got told.
Yeah, I got the word nuts, not this. It is definitely, forget the D, Natransky. Okay. I can go with that. Kransky, Natransky, yeah, no worries. We should have got it when I did the first game. All right, high kick. There's a big pack inside Rock's forward 50. In fact, one of the Rocks players took themselves out of the contest, but right now Dawson, centering kick. Straight turnover now. Let's see what SPOC are like on the rebound, Matt.
So counter-attack goes in the direction of Harvey George. Great work there. And they dish off to Swanberry. Been very clean and giving nothing back there in defence. Very miserly defence from the Rocks. That one might beat all comers out on that far side. Should be a free kick to Nell. No, it's just taken and escorted over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in.
Yeah, I think Butterworth sits well in that loose man in defence role, taking a couple of marks, but he was up this side of the field. I was wondering what SPOC were going to do. They moved it quickly.
So Butterworth starting to get some commanding ruck positioning. McGill pokes it forward, sets it up for Big Jukes. Johnny! Is he taking all the man in front? Yeah, he has played the man in front, so great work. Courageous marking them. Another split second, and I think Johnny would have had the Jukes out and gobbled it. But great call by the umpires. Murata on that far side. Breakout season. Goes a long one down the line. Direction McCormack. Haven't spotted him too much this afternoon. Wharton desperate at ground level, as you suspect. Del Perrier cleans up, does the mop work, and the connector to Bedford. Good build up here by the Spockos. Their best play passage so far. Collie, awkward looking kick. Double grabber. Johnny Reid. Can he get a goal over the top of the hand? He does. Is that our little snag of the day for Jag Meatworks from Jukebox Johnny? And they needed a goal. It was an understatement. It's taken about 30, we'll say 40 minutes to get that opening goal, Phil Hurden. And hopefully the floodgates have opened for the Spockos because the faithful are two behind here.
St. Peter's Old Collegian is one of the largest Old Collegian associations in the world. 11,000 members. And I reckon you all hear them just breathe out in relief.
There was a huge. The relief valve just got wound back a little bit there.
And because Rocks didn't take most of their advantages late in the first, it's a 2-goal footy game, 11 and a half minutes gone. So
still plenty of time
have a contest.
For the Spockos.
And so often you see teams, once they kick the first one, it's a great settler. Clearance though to Rocks, if you can call that a clearance. It's a high kick. No one can grab it. SPOC have the numbers. Beautiful work by Perrier. Has the audacity to run away from his opponent and take a bounce. Heads towards the canteen and the grandstand off hands. Heads up the hill. The ball will be a throw-in. Probably about, I'm trying to find that 50-metre arc. I reckon it's going to land about 60 metres around from SPOC's goal. 2 in a row is what they'll be shooting for.
Interesting how they played elegance throughout this clash. So Henry, shallow throw in, just gives it back to him. That's out of bounds on the fall. I think he'll have to give a free kick there. He does, umpire Paul Smith.
Is that because...
So a bit of inexperience and youthful exuberance. Wasn't his best idea there, Maxie Henry. So ball to be kicked in. There's a long one down the line. Ball holding up, as you can see in the wind there. Wakelin takes it right at the top of the ball there. Jeez, that was a magnificent mark. I saw his younger brother play on the Intercol. Might have been his first cousin. Must have been playing for PAC. So Wakelin, the high up and under, goes in the direction of McCormack, who's been quiet. He comes straight towards Phil Hurden. Centimetre almost perfect. And a golden fist over the boundary line there by Weeks. He's had a tremendous season. He might be firming as a full back of the year, Eddie Weeks.
We haven't had the team of the year yet, have we?
No, we haven't. So Fergus Corrales gets the tap down. Geez, he had an eternity to get rid of it. Ian LA almost, some carnage there. With Hamish Allen. He's down there, Hamish Allen. He just got clipped with a bit of friendly fire. Taken down, should be a free kick there. It is to Sammy Higgins, so ball will be brought back.
Just on awards, quick note. Monday night is the medal night.
Who's your tip, Phil?
Well, I mean, shall we back our boys who went with Jake Pittman for the High 5 e-bikes player of the year and say, well,
I've actually given the pit dog too many twos this year. I've probably sold him a bit short down the river, but yeah, he's had an outstanding season.
Yeah, well, despite that, he still won our prize.
Well, there you go. So he's had a ripping season, the pit dog. And I think he came runner-up last year. So
yeah, the umpires know him.
They know him well. He's around the front of the grill.
And if he wins 12 in a row,
hack, bang. What about the bounce? Oh, lovely work by Bedford. And he's kicked it on the roof. So back-to-back goals from the Spockos. And they've set the place alight here at the caterer. 6 points the margin for Kieran to get to halfway through this second term and the most important quarter of the game.
Well, last year Scotty Bedford was running around at Noarlunga, played 6 games goalless for the Panthers league level, 10 games, 5 goals at the reserves game. Originally from the Jujuwa Magpies in the Central Kimberley. Played for a few clubs in the Central Kimberley and the West Kimberley League before making his way down to Adelaide.
He also played with the Tiwi Bombers, Phil.
Yep.
Scotty Bedford. I'm heading over to Tiwi Islands when I go up to Darwin at the end of the month. It should be superb.
I hope you've got lounge membership with all the travel you do. So kick goes forward by Lim. SPOC have set up defence. It's a 2. Actually, scoreboard hasn't updated yet. It is a 1-goal contest. Long kick by Weeks. And the wind just heads that towards the boundary line before Scotty Bedford could wheel it in. No one touched it. Last touch disposal rule. Rocks go back to go forward with Dawson in front of the club rooms and little grandstand we have. A little niche boutique grandstand. Dawson indecisive now. He's not so sure. Eventually says, well, it's a risky either way. I'll take the safer one by the boundary, especially if Butterworth lurks. Transfers hand pass, only as far as his opponent, James Higgins, whose kick was smothered. Hard footy. SPOC are winning their share of the hard footy, though, at the moment. When they're not, they're making tackles. That'll be a ball up. We have gone 16 minutes, and the scoreboard has updated. It shows SPOC 2-5-17, Rocks 3-5-23. St. Peter's, after being totally outplayed in the first 10 minutes, are right back in this contest.
So Butterworth dishes out. They go through it. Lanzoni evades that would-be tackler. Not his best kick. Holds up in the breeze. Uncontested in the end. So Hammer, Allen, he's recovered from that knock. Geez, that's barely the 15 required, Ed Colley. From the Colley reserve. Just a little jab. Great work. To Sammy Higgins. Goes out to the pocket. Michaels goes back to Bedford. Takes on 2. Smart work. Slippery. Customer. Little kick to the pocket. And that wasn't his best kick there, and wasted opportunity. So they switch out of defence here, the Rocks. Plenty of numbers on.
So this
Got a short one.
This is the theory, isn't it? If you're heading... Where are you going if you're kicking into the wind?
Side. Yeah, definitely a move there by Boots. Comes out to Lanzoni. Does he take the ride? Goes the punch from the back. Smart move, Tranther. Flicks one out. Oh, is he taken high? Brought down to the tackle. Umpire lets the play go, puts the whistle in the back pocket. Bedford looking for some support there, but not much in place. And the ball will be held up at right half forward here for the Spockos. 17.5 down for Kieran Ugetsu in this second term.
Early days second quarter. Port District 6-3-39, Golden Grove 3-3-21 in the second semi. Winner straight into the granny. Loser will play the winner of this time next week. SPOC have it. They've moved it inboard to McGill. They're starting to move it with confidence, precision. Hamish Allen. So this is the theory. You might say, well, why is one team coming down the western side and the team with the wind the eastern side? Because it's a northeasterly. If you can bring it down heading south from the eastern side, you're going to have the wind at your back as opposed to a big cross breeze to deal with, and the kicks will go a fair bit further. But Rocks have got it now, and they're sort of trapped in this little pocket. Where do they go? Not really taking a lot of time. It's Lynn with the kick. They'll line up, transfer with the tap, and just as Rocks are about to burst away with about 4 players in a wave, it's ended up with the captain and Ed Allen.
So Ed Allen, good on that trusty left foot. Just a bit of stagnant movement, building up. Goes in the direction of Reed. Could have been a little bit of a tunnelling. Not seen by the umpire. Baldwin with ball in hand. And clever smothered by Nelligan. He's just had to play the forward half game at the moment, Nelligan. They've kept the reserve tanks going for him to maybe get in that midfield in the second half, Phil. 19 down for Kieran Ugetsu. Of course, the margin was 21 points in favour of Rostrevor Old Collegians at quarter time. That ball drifting towards Harvey George. And did he sneak that in? Yep. Umpires converse, minus score. So 5 points the margin for Kieran Ugetsu. As we said, goals will be like diamonds this afternoon, Phil Herden.
Yeah, you said 10 goals would win it, and by about 3. So what does that mean? 8 goals. Yeah, we might not even get to that, the way the goal kicking's been.
The golden fist of Eddie Weeks.
Yeah. Ends up with Wharton. He'll centre it, which is an interesting theory going into the breeze. Lim, defensive head centre square. He realises the theory is to head out. Umpire's seen something.
Yeah, there's a 25.
Downfield. I guess that's an advantage, isn't it? Head towards us. And we'll transfer word front position, but McGill was pushed over.
That was silly by Butcher. Because Tranther was on, and there was a goal beckoning there.
This player. Called to go centre, that's where it goes, and that's why. Fergus Carruthers in the tea saucer. 1-2, back to Carruthers, attacking at centre square, right down the middle, to the top of the square we go. And positioning himself nicely, Jackson Thomas. And Rocks will clear down the eastern wing.
So some great work on that far side. Build up here by Rocks. Some great attack by the full back there in Swanbury before, because he read that like a full forward. Great work, and it should be paid for an arm chopper mark and in by Lim. May earn it by Nelligan. Lim goes down the line. Clever kick in the end. Gets it to Boxer. Pokes one in open pastures. They've got a couple on here. Lands owning. Leads all comers. Ball drifts on him late. Wakeland just needs to get it off. Oh, read it like a boot was Eddie Weeks. And great work there by the full back of the year. Goes to Higgins. Fickle old bounce for Jimmy Higgins. He's in a 1-on-2. Great work by Higgins. He needs to get back in the contest. Transfer goes off the carpet. Goes in the direction of Wakeland. He's held up. Smart tackling by Charlie Allen. And the ball will be thrown up right on the 50-metre arc here for Rostrevor. Love a goal against the grain, Phil Hurd.
I was about to say, could it be the team that first kicks a goal to this northern end? It'll be like a break of serve in a tennis game. As Bedford's kick in the middle. Nicely played on by Nelligan. Although intercepting beautifully is Baldwin. So Rocks have had a share of inside 50s, but haven't threatened the goals too much. I think Lanzoni's had one shot under pressure. That's been it. Hamish Allen to Nelligan. They're moving it down the wing. Here's Ed. Captain Ed. Nice little kick around the body. St. Peter's player there just lost his feet. I think that's the Cesare momentarily. The kick, though, from Rocks, straight back to Ed Allen.
So Ed Allen with his third kick inside a minute. Just the required there, said the umpire to Nelligan. So the Rocks, if they get one here late, that gives them that little bit of ascendancy going into half-time. McGill, brother out of the line-up this afternoon. So Nick McGill goes out to that far side. No one home out there. I'm not sure who he was aiming for. And easy pickings in the end. So the wind getting the better of the best of them. Right half back here. I'd just love to take a bit of time off the clock for Kieran Ugetsu. Awkward looking kick with the drift of that breeze. Ed Allen just playing the quarterback role back there superbly. Gives off to McGill. Belperio, the usual suspects. Belperio's a second. Does he load up? Goes for the breeze! And he drives it home! Belperio with a belter! And the Spockos hit the lead for the first time this afternoon for Kieran Ugetsu.
Second time in 2 weeks, Belperio's kicked a magic goal in the second quarter. Last week it was an intercept, a defensive turnover, and which he stormed through the forward 50 and kicked an open goal. A rare highlight for St. Peter's. This time, just got an open space, found the turbos, and above all, in a game where points have been plentiful, but goals at a premium, he kicked straight And having conceded the first 3 goals, SPOC have kicked the last 3 and lead by the narrowest of margins. We'll go back in the middle. Butterworth, Reid. Butterworth and Carruthers. Bedford. The 2 Bedfords are starting to get a fair share of touches to the 50-metre arc. Lurking is Nelligan. He's getting into the game as well. He's managed to keep possession. Now he needs a teammate to top it. Umpire says, "Oh, just let it go." Transfers hand pass into some space. Finds Nitransky. Turnover though. Here comes SPOC on the rebound and a mark taken in goals kicking territory. And I have a feeling this is Fergus. Now there's a story about Fergus Carruthers. Actually, is it Fergus? I better check first. No, I'll save my Fergus Carruthers story for later because it's Ben Ianello. It's a good story. But,
So was the Ianello story. I like that one too.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Princes and SPOC in the 1 year. Of course, Princes are Division 2 bound. SPOC still in the premiership hunt. From left to right, and it just really curved.
Jeez,
I reckon there was a bit more than
the
the wind in that one, I suspect. Might have had a bit of a natural hook to it.
Yes, the left foot arc.
SPOC increased their lead from 1 to 2 points, 3-7-25, 3-5-23 are Rocks. Half time is imminent. We've gone 25 minutes.
So interesting couple of minutes on their hands here. Geez, the ball's just drifting. The wind is obviously building up. Smart punch by Kemp. And then challenging first half for both teams with this breeze. Both sides will be pretty happy. Both coaches in Mykonos, O'Leary and Damien Boots delighted with their charges. Work there by McCarthy. He's been impressive against Butterworth. Experienced campaigner Butterworth. There's a half-time siren. So 2 points is the margin for Kira to get to. 3-7-25 to 3-5-23. We've got a nail-biter coming up in the second half. We'll bring all the action live to you for Filming Footy.
Welcome back. Teams are out for the second half. We've got ourselves a tight one. St. Peter's Old Collegians 3-7-25, leading Rock 3-5-23. 6 goals kicked, all 6 to the school end. Might give you some scores around the grounds here. Semi-final day. 6 teams are going to earn promotion in the next 90 minutes. In Division 7, the second semi, Elizabeth, the only undefeated A-grade team in the Adelaide Footy League in the men's. 9-8-62 lead Century United 3-5-23, so they're well on their way to promotion. Brahma Lodge lead Hackham 39-10 in the knockout first semi-final. In the Villiers Bakery Division 6, we've got a second semi, Fitzroy leading Ingle Farm 6-8-44, Ingle Farm 4-7-31, and the knockout first semi, St. Paul's 6-6-42, Rosewater 4-7-31. So 13 points and 11 points, the two margins there. In Division 5 AA, Marion, who only lost one game all season, 7-8-50, Green Acres 2-5-17. The Rams 33 points up, looking to get promoted to Div 5. In the knockout game, it's Pulteney, maybe an upset here, 9-4-58, leading Eastern Park 6-6-42. That's a 16-point margin in favour of the Pulteney boys. To Police Credit in Division 4, second semi, Plimpton and Morphy Parks, 2 rivals there. Who's going to be first to Division 3? Plimpton leading by 7 points, 27-20. Knockout final, Walkerville and Hectorville. It's Walkerville by 15 points, 60-45. That brings us to 9 News Division 3. I hope the internet holds up with all of this. Second semi, Westminster Old Scholars leading only Mercedes in the second semi by 31 points. Pembroke and Kilburn knock out. Kilburn leading by 2 points. That's at Pembroke. That leaves us Division 2. The knockout final, Henley leads Goodwood Saints by 34 points at the half. And in the second semi-final, Athelston, could they be the first team back into Div 1? They lead Tea Tree Gully 31-18. So, to use election language, Matty Gale, quite a few of those still too close to call.
It'll all play out over the next hour. We've got an exciting second half coming up. Big thank you to our sponsors, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, custom by ORTC, High 5E Bikes, Dartfish, Archies for the best player on the ground this afternoon, to get a beautiful pair of slides or thongs, depending on your size and which player actually wins. The Jag Meatworks, well, did Benny Belperio kick our Jag Meatworks snag of the day?
Is there any
He's
rules?
The clubhouse leader with his 23-minute mark of the second term goal. Kimberley Resorts, big shout out to Rowan Marudi up there, and of course the wonderful Pads the Way Farmers Leap Winery.
Does the Jag Meatworks snag of the day, that doesn't have to go to the winning team, does it?
Can go to any player on any part of the field, mate, and either side, depending on the results.
Well, it's Rock's turn to serve. They have the breeze in the third quarter. They have a 3-point deficit to overcome. Big 30 minutes coming up, and to get us underway, you're with Matt Gale.
So umpire throws it up. Butterworth, McCarthy. Butterworth gets the initial tap. Good punch by Bedford. Taken down, there's Carruthers, and umpire says holding the ball. Just lands on Wharton. Been a seismic battle, that one. So Wharton, just a little jab. Goes to Dawson. Terrific first half. Goes out wide. Lovely kick there to Shooter. Shoot goes to the half-forward flank there. I'd look to bring this back in ball. They got Dawson on short. They go backwards. Smart and clever kick to DeMatteis. Not Deem the 15. Jabs that with a chiseler. To McCormack. Barely been sighted in the opening half. We just saw him having a shot on goal just before the second half commenced and slotted that through. Albeit up this end. So McCormack hugged up against the boundary line. Has been their second leading goal kicker and the second leading goal kicker in the Adelaide Footy League Division 1 this year with 39 goals. He's kicked some big bags throughout the season, 4 goals on 3 occasions, and bags of 3 on 5 encounters. Close to the man on the mark, looking for some aid of the assistance of the breeze, and punched over the boundary line there by Harvey George. So it might have been Max Henry in the end.
Yeah, so first score to Rocks, but it is of the minor variety. A quick score of the second semi, Peter Excavations Division 1. It is half-time now. Port District 6-4 Footy, leading Golden Grove 3-3 21. Of course, Port District's the defending and minor premiers. Golden Grove on a 12-game winning streak. Maybe the first time they've actually trailed by that much in some time. Throw in between the grandstand and the coaches' benches, half-forward flank for the visitors. Butterworth held but still got a hand out, but ends up with one Bedford to another Bedford. I wonder how many times they've done that. I wonder how many times they actually played together in a game of footy. Anyway, with Rocks, transfer into the pocket, through limb, spills to SPOC. They're not going to go down the other side. They'll work it through to Ty Bedford. There was also McCarthy in the middle of that. Butterworth gets in the way. Wharton breaks a good tackle. I'm trying to move it with speed. Transfer, I'm sure it was on the other side of the ground 30 seconds ago. The Transkys around, got teammates, but held up. On the ball, SPOC ball.
So well done there. Great tackle by Benjamin Ianello. Wrapped up Wakeland immediately. Jeez. Need to be a bit cleaner with that kick. Eventually it comes out to Grant. He just pokes one back. Oh, dangerous! Jeez, he's taken down there. So McCormack's switched on this half, no doubt about it. And now Carruthers made to earn that one. Goes a jab, finds Weeks, barely the 15. So Weeks has had the Golden Fist Award this afternoon. Been tremendous on that last line of defence. Winds one towards the boundary side. George couldn't take the mark. Good work by Scotty Bedford. Just pokes it in front of him and 1-on-4 and wins out in the end because he's in himself throw it into the breeze right in front of the Rocks coach's box. Only the one score so far. The minor score to the Rocks with a shot on goal to McCormack.
Yeah, this is where when you've got the breeze, you think you've got the advantage, but you've also got the pressure. This is when you've got to put something on the scoreboard. Every neutral stoppage that takes up some time is a win for the team kicking into the breeze, in this case St. Peter's. Tap to SPOC by the boundary, and we'll have another throw in despite the best efforts of Nelligan. Good to see him back in the lineup. Sorely missed last week in a 50-point qualifying final loss to Golden Grove. Throw in, both rucks missed it. And what's that, 6 stoppages in a row between possessions since we had our last possession?
They've gone into full arm wrestle mode here, Phil.
Bedford goes up as third to Nelligan, back to Bedford, so some of their recruits combining here to win the stoppage. They'll go across to Carruthers, got 2 rocks to beat. They're managing to do it, they break free now, 55, kick on a lead. And needs to be touched before it goes out of bounds. And so close to us, almost need a player's insurance there. In the end, George couldn't get it, but forces the stoppage. And so let's see what SPOC can set up here with a forward 50 play.
So 46 from home. Butterworth up against Bedford. Bedford takes it, gives out to his cousin Scotty. Wrapped up against the boundary line of Jukebox Johnny. Lovely kick. Right in front of us, and Harry the horse on camera. Hopefully he slapped that one on because that was delightful on the eye.
It's going to be a challenge.
And this is first team to potentially kick a goal to the Northern East, right into the teeth of it, as Phil Hurden mentioned. Tough kick. Harry the horse on camera right behind it. Again, Jukebox Johnny, premiership quarter. Usually takes those couple of steps, but straight through the middle of the points for a minor score. Margin out to 2 points for Kieran, who gets it almost 6 minutes down. Premiership term here.
Yeah, it's been within 1 or 2 points probably for about the last 10 minutes of the contest. Rocks 3 goals. I reckon it was about the 12-minute mark they kicked their third. And that was in the first quarter. Have not kicked a major in almost a half of football. But they have the breeze now. I'm not saying they're out of it by any stretch. Trailing by just 2 points. To the wing. Wharton got the hand pass to Baldwin. Baldwin on the outside of his foot. They actually got great distance for a kick like that. Boxer made the tackle, got rid of Malachi Carruthers a little bit too easy, but the kick inside 50. SPOC have the extra defender. And we'll play a little bit of basketball, Matty Gale, as they wheel it out the western side.
So goes down to Scotty Bedford, the big Bearcat. Goes in board, laconic approach. And chiming in beautifully with Shoot. Shooter goes to transfer. He's been busy, hasn't had the freedom and in dangerous positions which we're accustomed to. The little one. Goes to Shooter. Shoot, kicks into the man on the mark. Smart enough to get it back and fires it out to Dawson. So clever work. Silky little mover, Dawson. Asked to play on. Usually clever with ball in hand. This is no exception. Comes out the back. Scotty Bedford's away. Teaming up with McGill. De Cesare. Beautiful build up here for the Spockos. Need to be clean now though. Johnny Reid gets a fickle old bounce. And a terrific attack on the ball there by Swanbury, who's had a masterful hand down there in defence. Gained a good 80 metres there as they go backwards through Bedford, and that's going to be last possession out of bounds and a free kick. Did he get a hand on it? Did Eddie Weeks get a hand on it? Umpires converge. I don't think he did.
Field and boundary.
By the sound of the Rock's faithful, I don't think he got a hand on it here, Phil.
Last disposal.
Rock's and it is last possession out of bounds, free kick. So huge in the moment of the game, and terrific work there by Swanbury, who just kept on paddling and managed to get that ball about 80 metres down the field. Tricky to see who's got the ball in hand here, Phil.
It might be Wakeland.
Could well be. Loves this situation.
He's doing what we call the Stevie J, which is kicking for goals without really.
Goes the right foot, snapper, straight over the goal umpire's hat. Wowzers! Game on at the Caterer. And the Rock storm back to the lead, up by 4 for Kieran Ugitsu. We're 8.5 minutes down, premiership turn.
Finn Wakeland confirms second goal of the game. Rocks is 4th. Needed that. As mentioned, almost went a half without kicking a major.
Goal of second term, Phil.
Oh, scoreless.
Scoreless, yes.
Second term as well.
Yes.
Didn't even get an odd little point here or there. So, league changes hands for the 3rd time today.
Oh, would have been interesting to see if Johnny Reid had kicked that goal up here. Like, it was a tough kick.
Yeah. Didn't
Very
deviate
tough.
at all. I was wanting to see for the breeze to sort of
you basically
push
got to
it
aim
out.
straight for the middle of the goals from this pocket. Yeah.
Anyway, we're back in the middle. You think surely we're not going to go 4 quarters without a goal down one end of the ground. That it's a strong breeze, but it's not a cyclone. And the boys in blue are going to get the clearance, although it's hardly the most precise kick, but well picked up by Grant. He's inside 50. A good clash involving George. Has to go back and chase it. Jackson under fair bit of pressure. Not sure whether we're watching footy or Greco-Roman wrestling there for a sec.
That was great work by George because
Darcy Best was going nowhere.
If it's in there, so that was great.
Ball up, 45 out. Butterworth comes in. George has got it at his feet, can't pick it up though. Umpire trying his best to let it go. That's a try and a push in the back.
Jeez, that's a tricky one. I don't know if he played for it and he got it, Murata.
Yeah.
Smart footballer in the end, but...
There's only one way he was going to fall forward, wasn't it?
Yeah, pure weight of momentum. So dishes off, goes to Paddy Dawson, goes to Chisholm. Oh, clever kick. Not the 15 required, said the umpire. Nelligan was up to the occasion and swooped straight in there on Murata.
Now, he was trying to spoil the football that was very close to Murata's head.
Maybe the footy gods just frowned upon Murata for getting the free kick because he got hammered in that contest, but back to the action. Everything's going to be out this afternoon. Butterworth deservedly gets a free kick here for a Ruck infringement. Just pulled him at the pivotal moment. So Butterworth, right half back, has had found that going a bit tough this afternoon. The big man, one of the best big men in the competition, goes a long ball down the line. Beautifully read by Belperio. Or was it Ed Allen? It is. The captain, he plays above his height. He's a Collingwood 6-footer. Phil, terrific mark and a courageous one at that.
Yeah, I haven't seen SPOC play a game where he hasn't amassed a huge amount of touches. He'll play it down the line into the breeze. And in the end, Steppick was about third back, takes it. Rocks will go back to go to Dawson. Calling some players forward. In a bit of a tricky spot here, St. Peter's have manned up well. So Dawson will play the percentages, go down the western wing.
Oh!
There's a fly. I think that was Wakeland. Kick in return is going to... It looked off the boot it was going to land in the field of play. In the end, about 5 metres out of bounds.
So Dawson been racking him up at will. Key link man in this lineup. Always played on. Quickly with the kick, but it's a bit of a 1-on-4. Oh, lovely mark coming from deep there. Huge mark by Kemp. Exploded into the contest. Lovely ball to Lanzoni. So Lanzoni a little bit further up the field, right half forward. Captain needs to get involved. Now is the time for the Rocks to mount their charge. Big punch, heavy contest, one player down there. Quick kick out of the contest. Miraculous goal. Unbelievable finish from the pocket. And that is a huge finish. It was that quick there, Phil, that we
were going to sort the player.
We have to wait for the
we got a replay going
to catch
about
up.
30. McCormick is the cry from those who've got better eyesight than us.
McCormack, he did look threatening. He's been...
Well, we know we've got to look for 20 on the replay now.
And our screen's just catching up.
Actually, that's not even where we're at. We'll go with
McCormack.
McCormick.
We're minutes away. So we'll go with McCormack. Some of Phil Herden's finest work there.
Yeah, I think I'll give up while I'm well behind. Anyway, because we've got a live game to call. And interesting, the goal hasn't registered yet. I've got it at 5-6 to 3-8, which is a 10-point lead. It's never got out to more than, I think it was about 17 at one point when Rocks had kicked the first 3. Then SPOC kicked the next 3. And then Rocks have kicked the last 2. I think it's been a game in spurts. But it's with St. Peter's. They're going forward, and the hand pass just missed the target.
Oh, they had one on
If it was, Higgins was in space inside 50. Instead, it's Rocks on the turnover. Lynn with the quick kick towards the barbecue, where it will stay in bounds despite the best efforts of McCormick. Lots of chat.
Yeah, the problem was the boundary umpire was 70 metres away. So
yeah, it was quick movement, wasn't it?
Umpire Paul Smith had to make the call here.
Yes, I think the way the wind is going, you'd almost want 2 boundary umpires on this side.
To be honest with you, I thought McCormack ran out of tarmac and he'd gone over the boundary line
before
he kicked it.
Goal umpire would have the best view. And for the second time in 5 minutes, we've had the 3 branches of umpiring, field, boundary and goal, converge. Don't care, as long as I get it right.
Exactly. So tap into play. Dangerous position on the field here for the Spockos defence. And what's going on here? Last possession out of bounds. So Ed Weeks will do the recipient of that free kick. So the atmosphere really remarkable here at ground level. Probably couldn't pick it up on the audio, particularly from that far end. So Weeks drags that ball, goes towards Jimmy Higgins and Derek Cesare. Quick kick out of the contest by Ed Allen. Smart work by Michaels. Coming in with Sammy Higgins. Needs to be composed. Not his best kick to Michaels. Easy pickings for Swanbury. Goes to 1-2. Goes to the boundary line. Runs out of space there. Clever work, but a little bit overzealous with the kick.
Yeah. Not the first out of bounds we've seen on the western wing. Won't be the last. Strong breeze to the southern end and also to the western pocket. St. Peter's. Oh, Lanzoni.
Well done, Lanzoni. That's an iron-hearted effort there, Phil Herden.
Yeah. That was a lion-hearted effort just to stop a grab on the centre wing. Pure desperation creates the stoppage. 16 gone. Rocks have a 10-point lead. That, for me, makes the game as evenly poised as you can get, given Saints have the breeze coming back. They'll work it through. Nelligan, another touch. Hamish Allen to 50. Big spore from Jackson Thomas. Hot footy at 50. De Cesare has it. His kick, his smother. A lot of 1%ers in this game. You'd expect it. It's a final. Jackson on the boardward. Here come Rostrevor. Looking and not able to find, but it will spill to Lanzoni. He's under pressure. Back to Lim. Rocks just seem to have an extra player. They kick it out into some space on the southeast pocket. A lot of players descend on the ball. Lots of arms in the air claiming free kick. Indian umpire says, my ball. 16 gone, 17 gone, Rocks by 10.
Pressure meter building, Phil Herden. 17 down, as Phil said. Butterworth, McCarthy have had a great battle. Along with Henry when he hits the ruck as well. She's tough contest, well read by Wharton. Bedford going toe-to-toe, need a bit clean here to Cesare. Great impact. Goes the inside out, does it stay in? Michaels leads the foot race with Jukebox Johnny. Comes to Higgins. His ball smothered. Does it stay in? It does. Higgins is clever. Goes to Reed. Can he break the tackler? No, he can't. He's wrapped up and umpire says my ball. So 10 points the margin. Can the Spockos get one against the grain? It would be the first goal against the Breeze in 2.5 quarters. And Wharton escorted over the boundary line by Higgins right in front of us. Good work there by Harry the horse on camera. So an interesting couple of minutes coming up. One would feel this is probably the most critical phase of this game. Next 3 to 4 minutes. Can Spockos get one against the grain? Bedford dishes off. Nelligan needs to be strong in the contest. Brought down. We'll have a little rinse and repeat. So St. Peter's played this into the Breeze much smarter, I feel, this time around. Phil, they've...
Well, learnt their lessons.
They've learnt their lesson. They know that they've got to run it into the Breeze. Butterworth gets a smart tap, and he goes as far as Bedford. Quick kick by D. Mateus. High up and under. Geez, great contest by Kemp. Pokes it down to Lanzoni. Couldn't take it with him. Oh, Bedford should have gone the ball because he was in prime position, and Kemp, a strongly built half forward, just takes it over the boundary line. Phil Herden will have a ball up here at left half forward as a couple of speakers get thrown onto the boundary line. How'd they end up out there?
A pair of little earbuds out on the field. Well, not wireless ones, wired ones. Anyway, probably some Year 9 student trying to work, went home realising they left it out in the school over last week. Higgins, they got a chance here. Bedford almost had it. Wharton runs interference. You almost feel like Rocks are the ones hanging on at the moment.
Does feel that way.
Spock have managed to bottle it up well, but maybe this is the chance with Lim. He ducks around 2. Now he'll put the boot into the Sharon. He crosses the centre square. Half forward line for Rocks. Where's the runner? Wakeland. No, back to Dawson. Dawson runs to 50. Demeteus is in space. Thought he played him. Sorry, that's shoot. Shoot to the top of the square. There's a big fly. Didn't touch the ball. It probably would have been Spock free kick. They have it anyway through Nelligan, who brings it down the middle.
So Nelligan to Hammer Allen. Hamish Allen plays on. Lovely direct kick. Improvising there was Darcy Best. So it goes to McGill. Lovely driving ball. Comes out the back to Bedford. Dishes off. Jukebox Johnny! Bang! And there's your first Northern goal for the game. And what a crucial goal here. Smart dishing off. And Johnny Reed, prime position. That's his 15th goal in 5 games for Johnny. And that goal there, I think, is going to be as crucial as any on the Kieran who gets your scoreboard this afternoon, Phil Herden.
Yeah, margin. 4 points. We're in time on. The breeze hasn't lessened up any. We've got the St. Peter's flag on top of the tower and it's still fluttering very strongly. So whilst the breeze never does the work for you, St. Peter's coming home with it. With that goal, Tamina in the box seat. Still got to kick him, but that was a big one. We're in the middle. Rocks need the next one. They'll get the clearance. Wharton runs away and kicked it over. That's the problem with the breeze, as Murata kicked it over his head. He picked it up, was taken to the ground, then drilled into the ground. On the ball.
Momentum shifted here, Phil, after that goal. It's definitely been a momentum shifter.
Yeah, the SPOC fans have found their voice.
So we got Bill Perrier, being one of the best players on the field. Jeez, he's a wonderful player. Unfortunately, only finds the chest there of Lim, who's been high amongst the best for the Rocks as well. So plays on, goes back in a similar direction. Wakeland comes steaming out. Almost the mark taken. Ball held up. And there's a free kick to the Rocks. And you only need the crowd in that pocket to tell us who's got the free kick. Transfer not happy with the Ches. Jeez, tempers are flaring.
The last thing
you want to be careful because you don't want to turn it over.
No.
And Trantham not happy with the treatment received by Murata. Murata will have a shot on goal. So he's a tough, nuggety player. A real junkyard dog of this side. As we mentioned earlier in the call, he's had a breakout season. Played only reserves last year, Murata. Played the one game with Norwood. It's 52nd game for Rostrevor this afternoon. Difficult kick. Needs to give them some breathing space. Deliberate approach. Drifts. Does it stay in? He gets the 8 of the breeze in the last second. Shoots goal by Murata.
Goal umpire straddling that far goal post. One step to the right, it would have been a behind, but he came back as it curved around. Said Rocks needed the next one. And I don't know who I've got in this one, Matty Gale. 23 minutes gone. 10 points. Low scoring affair, but at least the teams have improved their accuracy a little bit from what we saw in the second quarter. So this quarter, St. Peter's Old Collegians have kicked 1-1 into the breeze, and it's been Rocks who've kicked 3-1 with it. I think when you say the next 10 minutes are important, I think it just builds in importance until one team can make a break.
Oh.
Butterworth, now there's a thump. That in itself went about 15 metres. The Cesare has to elude a couple, which he does. Heads to the far side, getting in the way, Baldwin. He's been busy on that wing today. Towards the pocket we go. 50 metres out. There's a kick that's come out of nowhere across the face of goal. That's covered quite some distance. No one touched it, which means it's going to be St. Peter's ball coming back.
So they retrieve the ball from De Cesare's mum in the canteen. Right in that back pocket. Crowd starting to build up with excitement. It's a long driving ball. Good punch by Butterworth. Comes out. Clever kick by Ianello. Foot race is on. First there is that Nastransky. Nastransky's been given a free upfield. So undisciplined by Bedford. Whose free kick is it? It'll be in the hands of Butcher. Also had a breakout year, Butcher. Clever player. Long kick, have high flies up everywhere. Ball brought down. Geez, there's no prior opportunity. It is! So the umpires miraculously pulled a free kick. Must have been a throw, unless he's dragged that in. So free kick here will go to Darcy Best. Jeez, we'll see this on the Kieran Ugetsu replay. There's high flyers everywhere. He must have thrown it. He got done for holding the ball.
Yeah, it was Charlie Allen who picked it out and was tackled instantly. I guess did something we're starting to see creep into some interpretations at some levels. You grab it, even if you're tackled straight away, if you don't make an attempt to get rid of it, it's as good as if you had prior opportunity.
So Jet Boxer in the box seat. Can he get this margin out to 16 points? Lovely looking kick. Does it get the drip back? And it goes! Slides through for a rip snorter. We rode that one together, Phil Hearn. That was an unbelievable kick, and it's been marked as a point. Must have hit the post.
Yeah, it was close.
Jeepers creepers. What the best really point celebrated all year in the commentary box.
All right. Margin 11. Well, you get the feeling it's going to be a close finish one way or the other.
I know that umpire was in prime position, but I thought we had a pretty good view here too.
Just having a look. No, touch the post. Okay.
It did. All right, there we go.
And look, we are a long way away. Let's be honest. We are a long way. We're almost at the other end of the ground. Butterworth the tap in front of the grandstand. with loyalties evenly split. Transfer back towards the scoring area. There's another free kick call. This will go the way of SPOC.
That's right. St. Peter's are playing on their home deck, which is unbelievable. That's the
and by the way,
level of this crowd.
We're hearing that cheering into the breeze.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's like if we're actually down there. Should add, three-quarter time is now imminent.
It's a long kick out of that defensive post. George goes up, still yet to clunk a mark. Murata goes back. Stransky goes along the deck. Clever to transfer. They go out wide to Butcher. Goes to the hot spot. Clever kick to Wakeland. Double gripper! What a wonderful mark by Wakeland. Huge in the context. And plays on. And goes bang. He's kicked his third. The only multiple goal kicker on the ground has got 3. Sorry, Johnny Reid's got the 2 as well. But Finn Wakeland, geez, he had to use all of his class there. One-hander, clunked it in on the double grab. And that is a huge mark in the context. And the absolutely gutted St. Peter's defence just let him run away and just runs into an open goal. So huge goal.
Tell you what,
17 points the margin for Kieran to get to. It's a great lead, Phil.
He's got to be glad the siren didn't go when he played on. That would have been cataclysmic. Anyway, Butterworth with the tap. Of course, the players probably have a better idea of how much match time is left than us. We've got a game-high lead, by the way, 17 points. Rocks have kicked the last 3. I mean, it's been quite remarkable. Oh, well, what are we talking? 9 seconds?
Yeah.
And now it's on.
Don't switch off the camera yet, Harry. You might be needed.
Well, we now know that one team won't be in next week.
There's a free kick
Let's
here.
just make sure there's not player.
Or is it a red? This might be a red card here, Phil.
Yellow. Okay. Well, someone's going to have an extra break. Does that mean they can't go in the huddle?
So, for those viewers at home, just before we go to our three-quarter time break, what's the go with the yellow card?
Okay, yellow card, my understanding is you are replaced, so you're not short a player, and you get to sit out. So that player should be sitting out until the 10-minute mark. And, of course, we've got no idea who it is because normally someone gets yellow carded, they come off, and the opposition fans jeer. Well, we don't know who it is because they're all going into the huddle. Unless maybe during the break, I might just step out and check.
I can go and do that for you, Phil. Three-quarter time here at the Caterer Oval. We've got a nail biter on our hands. We'll bring back the fourth quarter action after the break.
Well, folks, if you've got a seatbelt handy, buckle yourselves in, because the next 30 minutes are going to be intense. We're coming to you live from Cater Oval, thanks to Filming Footy, the BDR Excavations Division 1 first semi-final. Two fabled old collegiate clubs where only one moves on next week. It's been a ding-dong battle. Momentum's changed. The leader's changed. The wind is strong. It's on a knife edge. And Matt Gale, we did get an update at three-quarter time. And who got the yellow card?
Well, Henry Nelligan and the captain, Ed Allen.
Not one, but two.
So we've got two yellow cards.
Now,
they'll
be fresh as a daisy when they come out at the 10-minute mark. But that last goal to Rocks, the Finn Wakeland mark play on and goal, with seconds left in the quarter.
Clock,
he beat the clock. Well, maybe the difference in this game. We'll find out. Here we go. You're with Matt Gale.
So Butterworth gets the tap. McCarthy's been battled away really manfully. Scotty Bedford with the free kick. Plays on. Ball's touched. Good work there by De Cesare. Couldn't take it with him. Taking the ground immediately there is Jimmy Higgins, and there'll be a ball up at right half forward.
I'm going to make a bold prediction, Matt. If SPOC kick a goal in this quarter, they will win.
So SPOC kick a goal. Rocks kick a goal?
No, SPOC kick... Sorry, if Rocks going the other end.
Yeah.
I better check.
And then they'd have to kick 5 with the breeze there, St. Peter. So comes to McCormack. Got busy in that third term, kicked the goal. Smart work by Grant. Gets the right foot snapper fortuitously to Mount Carruthers. Could have pushed off that mark a little bit quicker. Goes to the Bearcat and Bedford. He's just been building and humming along all day. Got his cousin lurking out the back there, Scotty Bedford, back into the lineup. Or sells a bit of candy, uses him on the mark. Tumble kick inside towards Jukebox Johnny. Double chisel, couldn't take it. Goes back for a second look, couldn't take it with him. And the ball is open. Can they clamp it in? They can. Ianello, is he within range? That's a $64,000 question. Does he go for home? Puts it up there. Does it come back with the breeze? Oh, holding up. Off. Oh, and a point saving. Yeah. Takes it away. There's Dawson, so concedes the point.
Wisely conceded. You've got a 17-point lead. Now back to 16. Couple of minutes gone. I should mention a game that started 15 minutes later than ours, second semi-final. Port District lead Golden Grove by 23, and that looks to be a comfortable lead because we think Port District have the breeze in the final. Free kick, once the ball's handed over, will be Rock's ball. 25 metres coming up, maybe? No. Dawson. Centre wing. Broadcast side.
Should have used Lim then.
Puts it high up to land on the 50-metre up the high-flying Finn Wakeland. There's been some big grabs in the third quarter. His was one of the more important ones. To the square. McCormack has taken it. Well, I said, with your assistance, Matt, that if Rocks kick a goal in this quarter, they will win this game. This is for a game-high 22-point lead, and SPOC needing to kick 4 to win it in a low-scoring contest.
Very quiet first half from McCormack. Don't like that he's turned his back on the play, but he did improvise in that third turn.
You've got to take the shot here. He's barely 20 metres out. It's how you handle the breeze. He wouldn't have seen Johnny Reeds. He's going to Matty Lloyd. He knows that it's going to go from right to left a little bit. Although Reed's kick, by the way, didn't.
That is full 30.
Is this a season lying on this kick? McCormack deliberate. Never in doubt. Rocks have kicked 4 unanswered. And it's a game-high 22-point lead. And SPOC now have got something serious to chase.
He's a wiry player, McCormack. He just read that ball drop perfectly. He saw it coming into his side. He just put the lock leg out and locked him away and just took a Nice little double grabber there at ground level. He's been practicing this sort of range pre-game and at half-time, Phil, and that was a superb slot on goal. That's his 41st for the year, so he's been an impact player, new to the club this year. Wharton gets the clearance, hands off the Tranther. Butterworth does the roving, goes down Main Street towards Lanzoni. Oh, he double grabs it. Smart work by Lanzoni. Tricky pocket. So Lanzoni turns his back on the play, burning a bit of the clock. McCormack on short. I reckon he's going to have a crack there. He's got the breeze. Needs to hit the right post. And it just needs to hook curve right at the last second.
Problem is the breeze is going to take it away from the goals. So taking his full 30.
Umpire says, hurry up, please. So he should. So man on the mark. Must be about 35 from home here. So he's going to kick from 40. Deliberate approach. Can kick it from the rocks pockets. Down there at Paradise. And drifts to the right early doors for a minor score. An important one. 23 points the margin for Kieran to get to. 5 minutes down last quarter.
Rocks have proven themselves on many occasions this year to be the final quarter specialists. Lost a couple of close ones, but they certainly do play the game out. It's all for St. Peter's to do. Sits with Carruthers. They'll move it on. They'll take a bounce. They've got to play with a bit of boldness now, SPOC. So it sits by the boundary and a double tackle. Umpire says my ball. That was on Darcy Best. In front of the... I think there's a staff room they've actually got in that pocket. I was wandering around there earlier today. Butterworth is going to be important, and Ruck gets it to Lim. High kick. Beautifully picked up, and they're away, Rocks. This is Charles Kemp taking not one, but two. Elects not to go for a third.
Ooh.
And eventually all that bouncing, running and thinking came all right out of bounds. SPOC. We've got to go coast to coast.
So Weeks goes to Ian Ello. As we mentioned, start of the year at PAC. Long raking kick. Demands his forward to come forward there. So Jimmy Higgins, right half forward. Need to be clean, need to be composed. Need to be clinical. So Higgins given an eternity, eventually asked to play on. We've got a mark down there. George comes from 3 deep. Johnny Reid does the tackle. And the umpire says, my ball. 25 from home here. Spocko's desperate for a goal. Yet to get one. 7 minutes down. Those two players will come back on in 3 minutes' time. Eventually goes to and held up. Given plenty of time. And the umpire says, my ball.
Yeah, if you just joined us, there was a little bit of a howdy-do at the three-quarter time siren, and both Nelligan and Ed Allen given yellow cards. They'll be back, but not just yet. And fair to say at the moment, SPOC is struggling without them. But they got a free kick.
Yeah, holding the ball, that one.
Now, is it within range? I reckon
Sammy
it might
Higgins.
be. Higgins has not kicked a goal this season. It's only his third A-grade game, played 14 in the Bs.
Last two.
Plenty of noise to put him off. And he is missed to the near side.
He didn't look overly confident, Phil.
SPOC 4-10, Rocks 8-8. It translates to a 22-point game. SPOC have the breeze, but have yet to do anything consequential with it.
Goes to the pocket to Dawson. Dawson with a one on short, if he wants to. And Di Mateus, does he look to switch? Usually clever with ball in hand. Dawson high up and under in the direction of Butterworth. Puts the one arm salute up. Ianello goes the left foot slicer. Goes back to Dawson. Geez, huge pack forms. Good work by Nick Michaels. Rarely sided today. Wharton taken down. Comes out. And eventually is taken out of play. Touched. Over boundary throw at 40 from home. So St. Peter's need to get their skates on. 8.5 down. Ed Allen and Nelligan get to their feet. Ready to rejoin the cavalry. Good punch by Butterworth. And held up there is Shoot. So game poised. Very evenly. This next goal, pretty crucial in the context. Some smart work there at ground level. Good diving attempt and a lovely mark in the end there to Hammer Allen. Too far out to score. It needs to go central corridor. The Rocks have plugged up those holes. Goes with a clever kick, just drops short. Lovely mark. Has it been paid? No. And eventually the ball is spilt. The umpire calls my ball. About 30 metres from home here, Phil Heard.
There's just a massive humanity down that end of the ground between about 30 players and a whole bunch of spectators. Doesn't look like there's much space down there at all. As the kick tries to come out, only to Ianello, which you think, oh, he's close, then you look up and he's actually, well, I think he's too far out to score. Not sure he thinks so. That's a huge run up.
Pocket. He can kick this.
Well, left footer, yeah, okay. Comes in now, gathers some speed, goes with a little pass. Thumb from behind. Rocks are playing around with it. Not sure that's the wisest thing. I'd be kicking it out if I had it. In the end, a stoppage ensures we're probably about 30 metres out from goal. With each passing minute, SPOC's chance of surviving another week diminished bit by bit. Butterworth at ground level. Hamish Allen in front. Bedford taps it forward to himself. Can he pick it up? Yep. Now he's got to turn around. Some quick hands to Cesare with the shot. But back at the top of the square, Michael's hand pass in hope to no one in particular. It's with Dawson. Looking for Baldwin. He's taken the mark and the Rocks fans can just take a breath. They're out of trouble momentarily.
So Nostransky on the far side. Ned Allen and Henry Nelligan into the free end of the fray. Goes the short one to Boxer. Kick one in the third term. Wakeland being held on. Umpire calls play on. Del Perio needs to be clean. He clunked straight away. And a lovely tackle there by Bradford. The ball will be thrown up 40 metres from home here for Rostrevor. They only need one more goal and that'll be good night, Irene. So wrestle on. Goes the double punch. Smart work. Oh, clean bowls in Weeks. McCormack! Bang! Game over! And that is a match high. 28 points for Kieran Agitsu.
McCormack, I reckon that's his third.
Third goal.
And they've all come probably in the last half hour or so. And have been part of Rock's recovery. I think when SPOC got within 4... Oh yeah, Rocks have kicked the last 5 unanswered.
Might have gone the early crow here, Phil, but 28 points. I can't see them kicking 5.
I went the real. I said if Rocks kick 1, they've kicked 2.
Yeah.
They've kicked the last 3 of the third quarter to get momentum back, and they've amazingly kicked 2 to start the final quarter, which has gone 12 minutes. SPOC are goalless, and now you'd think it's all too much. Give it another 5 minutes. Even if there's no score, it's going to be too little time left. Rocks aren't done yet, though. They want to claim this one right now while they have the momentum. It's by their 50-metre arc. McGill with the hand pass. They're going to work it out of defence here, or they should. Nelligan's back, by the way. He and Ed Allen have got some work to do. As Bill Perio makes the tackle. Nelligan about to escape, but umpire says, called it a stoppage before the ball spilled free.
So ball to be thrown up right half forward for the Rocks. They've been rocking and rolling this afternoon. Geez, got out of that tackle well. Strongly taken down there by Higgins. And we'll have a rinse and repeat by umpire Paul Smith. 13 minutes down, final stands up. Been a classy second half of that third term by the Rocks. Got themselves out to 17-point lead there at three-quarter time. They've gone on with it in the last. Baldwin's mowed down. Could have been in the back. Needs to get the kick on. Fortuitously does it bounce. Goes to Allen. His ball smothered. Some great work at ground level by Boxer. Needs to settle. He's in home. Goes out the back for another one. So huge goal to Jet Boxer. Unbelievable finish. Kicked 3 goals against Sacred Heart last week and kicked his first now. And it's all done. Double the score here, Rostrevor Old Collegians. 10-8, 68 to 4-10, 34. 14 minutes down and the final turn for Kieran, who gets it.
Yep. About to start the final quarter at Largs. Port District 9-8-62, Golden Grove 6-8-44. A 3-goal lead to the minor premier. So if that holds, it's Rocks versus Golden Grove to play Port Districts in the grand final in a couple of weeks at Cooper Stadium at Norwood. But still some time left in that game. This result looks done and dusted. In the middle, well, there'll be cricket played here and not too far away. That'll be the next organised sport, you would think, after this game concludes. Hasn't been SPOC's reserves also out of contention, alas, losing the Golden Grove, so it will be a double wrap up for the boys in blue. Let's see what they can pull out in the final 15 minutes. It sits with Collier onto Malachi Carruthers, back to Collie by the boundary. Is that Lanzoni? No, it wasn't Lanzoni. Murata on this occasion. Love the 1%ers we've seen today, especially from Rocks in recent time. Loose ball. I hope you can hear that.
Ryan Lim has yet to get to his feet from that tackle 15 seconds ago. Very slow.
Well, that's where this game is at now. Coach Damien Boots probably thinking about, well, we're pretty home. Do I need to give someone some extra rest? And yeah, no, they're all up now. Who is the player slow to get up, Matt?
Ryan Lim.
Okay. You call the footy, I'll keep an eye on him.
So Wakeland goes up against McCarthy. Nelligan pokes one out and that's out of bounds on the full. So very unfruitful return for him this afternoon in more ways than one, including that yellow card on the three-quarter time siren with his captain Ed Allen. So Sting pretty much taken out of this one. It's a long ball swirling towards Finn Wakeland. Couldn't hold on for that mark. Taking the ground straight away. Gang tackling has been a feature of the Rocks onslaught this afternoon. We said 10 goals would win it, and I think got all bases covered. Butterworth gets the tap down. Needs to get that hand pass off and eventually smothered. Spocko's not giving up and eventually goes over the boundary line.
Now, Lim is up. He's
back to his feet. He might have got wind.
He's not injecting himself into the contest, just staying a possession away at the moment.
So Butterworth gets the tap. Trying to mount a charge here. The Spockos in the hands of Ed Allen. Just needs a bit of space. A lot of players around him. Pokes one over to Fergus Carruthers. Unfortunate bounce for him. And smashed to the ground there's D. Matthias and should be done for holding the ball. So a free kick here. Spocko's only with the 2 points so far this quarter. Need a goal and need to get the skates on. And Harvey George has had a quiet afternoon. Love a goal right here, right now. So quick to his mark.
Another goal to Port District, by the way. They lead by 24, looking the goods with every passing minute.
So Harvey George has gone the Dennis Lilly run-up. Now the mark appears to be about 45 from home. There's no time to waste. Enters the tarmac. Will kick from 50-odd metres out there. Hard to see from this angle. Just guides that ball through. And umpire's pretty happy with it. So goal there to Harvey George. So he's first. Had a bit of an interesting year. His 10th game in the A grade and 7 in the Magoos this year, the former Norwood junior. He kicks the 26th goal of his career out the Spockos.
I reckon he's one of 8 players in the squad whose junior club is Walkerville.
Yeah, a lot of Walkerville talent.
If St. Peter's, Old Collegians and Walkerville ever merged, they would be an unbeatable powerhouse.
I've got Nick Michaels as Walkerville junior. I've also got Max Henry. And between that and the Air Peninsula, I've got some...
James Higgins, Ty Bedford, Harvey George as this game as a stoppage, Sam Higgins, Max Henry, Ben Pelperio. Might have missed one somewhere in there. Because it does happen. Kids love to play school footy on Saturday and club footy on Sunday. Well, they can get away with it.
Yes.
Sandfield Junior finals wrap up tomorrow, I'm pretty sure.
They do.
High kick, which if it curves back,
Great
that's
goal,
actually a goal. Well, that's 2 and 30 seconds. We look at the scoreboard and we say, right, 4 goals heading into time on. We've now come back where it's a silly, silly chance. A faint flicker of hope.
Yeah, it's a free throw at the dartboard. No doubt. They've got nothing to lose, and they can chuck the handbrake on Rostrevor. I think this thing's taken out.
Yeah.
Bit of respect on the scoreboard, but hey, not too late. It'll still be 7 or 8 minutes if they're good enough.
22 is the margin. Time on imminent.
So is there another chapter in this game?
Yeah, that was a free called off the ball. I think maybe too many
by the
in the
boundary
square.
umpire. An extra man that come off that square. So McCarthy will look to dish off to Nelligan. He'll have to take the kick. They've spread too much for him. Goes straight down Main Street, not a deep entry. Good punch from the back there. Comes towards Allen. Dishes off to his brother. Needs to be courageous here. Can they keep it in? Belperio. Dribbler. Oh, the goalkeeper saves the day. Jeez, he's burnt some rubber off there in his fancy as well. Jeez, that was a classic move.
All right. Well, don't go to watch the game at Largs just yet, folks. Of course, it will be on after we've wrapped up. A 15-minute difference in starting time, although Port District looking comfortable there at the moment, because this one, just the next couple of minutes might be interesting. Reed couldn't take it. High kick. Well, that was a wasted opportunity, and St. Peter's only have a few of those left. Charlie Allen's right down the throat of Dawson, who will be quite happy to take some seconds off the clock, I reckon, play the percentages. Yep, head towards this boundary line. Where does he best? Took off amazingly early, and that's got to be a free kick, and it is.
So Ed Allen. Oh, ugly looking kick, real mung off the boot, goes towards his brother. Dishes off to McCarthy. Just kicks with hope more than anything. Courageous there, Burgess Carruthers. Smart work by Stepic. Gets it out towards McCormack. Foot races on. McCormack's there first. Touches the ball along the ground. The old school bounce. Lovely work to shoot. And the shooter getting the shooter. Get the old shooter McGovern.
Not booze, folks, just before we enter that controversy. Not booze.
So, shooter goes in the direction of Lanzoni. Weeks too tall, too strong. So they haven't given up here. The SPOC goes towards McCarthy. He's got the Clydesdale run going at the moment. He's spent all his petrol tickets. Goes back. Oh, dangerous hand pass. Transfer goes to Airy. Henry Nelligan needs to use all of his wealth of experience now. He slides one out wide.
Might be time to have a think about post-match presentation.
Will be shortly. Bedford. Oh, great work by Stepic. Couldn't hold on. They get one over the top. Ed Allen, can they get a captain's goal? There it is! And the captain. There is that flicker of hope still continuing. 15 points the margin for Kieran to get to. Well. So last 3 goals to the SPOC. Is it still game on, Phil Herden?
Well, they need another one in the next. If they get one every 2 minutes, they're half a chance. Of course, it takes 45 seconds of that for the ball to come relayed back. Gee, the scoring's opened up. Back in the middle. Everyone takes a breath, ready to go again. Wharton and Bedford in the middle, I reckon, is going to be critical. Butterworth, by the way, not in ruck. It will be a spot clearance to Nelligan back in the contest. How critical was that 10 minutes with Allen on the bench due to the yellow card? Well, we'll never know what might have happened had they been out there. All we do know is that within that,
out there, while they weren't out there.
Yeah, the first 12 minutes, 2 Rock's goals, really created the separation. Boundary throw and no one could get. Wakeland's tackled, hand pass. It was going to go through some ends. St. Peter's just knocking it on. Okay, they've got an open man now and Hamish Allen. His kick, though, is going to be wayward, although will it bounce out of bounds. Gina Trinsky once. It was one of the most deliberate things you've ever seen. But
courageous umpire to give that one.
Well, it doesn't exist in the league. That's throw in. right next to the behind post. SPOC need 3. Kick around the body. It's not even going to score. That was Harvey George, and I don't blame him giving it a try. And I think
Butterworth
that was
back
tough.
into the fray here, Phil.
Yeah, he's had his rest. He's back. And we are at the 24-minute mark. Surely not enough time left.
So great work by Nelligan. Took it out of the ruck. Smallest man on the ground. So time will be the enemy of St. Peter's on their home deck, one would feel. A couple of late goals at the death there of the third quarter. Premiership term. St. Peter's, to their credit, still haven't given up. And they concede another point there. Rostrevor wouldn't be too worried about that. 14 points to margin for Kuna. Gets you 25, almost down last quarter. Is there another little twist in this game, Phil Herden?
What we need to do is have about 60 seconds of, once they can take a mark in the field of play, just kick it around pretty much. But right now it's chaos footy. SPOC certainly haven't given up. Free kick to Rocks. This should be it. They've got the ball, kicking it forward, and there was a flattening afterwards. That'll be kicked downfield. And there might be the need to pick up a few more yellow cards.
Fergus Crothers should have let the ball go. Oh, they needed to give it back to him because they can't burn it. They need to get the time. They haven't got the time.
I was about to say no point. It's with Lanzoni, who surprisingly wants to play on quickly. Wakeland is ready to jump. Can't take it. He's front and square. Wakeland's kick a little bit too late. St. Peter's have got it. Oh no, hand pass intercepted. Butcher. They don't need to score, but they're going to have a shot through. Shoot! He does, but misses. And 15 points, but that's the 90 seconds Rostrevor needed to make this one, no doubt.
So Allen, to Cesare. He's got Collie out wide, needs to stay in, and that's been pretty much the story of the day. Just been a cleaner, more determined Rostrevor. Nose to the grindstone for longer. Tranfer, little poker. Demands Murata to take that mark at fingertip level. So Murata looking to play on. Just burn the clock, son. Burn the clock. Goes down the line. That's a clever kick. Oh, Ed Allen gets a rise. Couldn't bring it down with him. They poke one to the top of the square. Wharton in box position. And Wharton seals the deal. Monaro in the car park. This one's over, Phil Herden. Bang, bang, bang. Good night, Irene.
Wharton just his 5th goal of the season. Kick one last week, which was critical. That one not as critical, but certainly I like the way that he ran to the goal line. You think all the adrenaline going to bang it halfway into the Torrens and just dribbles it over the line. Shows he's in control of his emotions. And that margin now back out to 19. 27 minutes gone. There'd be maybe a minute or so left in this contest. Rocks are moving on, and just checking the score at Largs. It is Port District by 23. That would be at around about the 10-minute mark of the final quarter. Don't forget you can watch that when we're done. Thanks to Filming Footy. Have we worked out our winner?
Oh, I don't know. I think Ryan Lynn might have the... Not sure. I'll need to talk to you after the game because This is a tough one. So ball in the hand of Henry. Little Chisler. Nice little kick to find Fergus Carruthers. Goes out to Grant. Oh, goes to Michaels in the pocket. Too much heat on that kick. And clean bowls everyone for a free kick. Last possession out of bounds. Or was it touched? That'll be last possession out of bounds. Free kick to Stepic. No. He'll just spend a little bit more time off the clock and give it to Kemp. So Kemp will no doubt bring it on this broadcast side. There is the siren. Congratulations, Rostrevor, Old Collegians. Been a brilliant game. 4-quarter effort. Besides the second quarter, when they were scoreless, they've been tremendous. And an inspiring game. And kudos to St. Peter's. They've battled away manfully. Unfortunately, the scoreboard doesn't really reflect how close this game was. 21 points the margin in the end. Rostrevor 11-9-75 to St. Peter's Old Collegians 7-12-54. But spirited game for both sides, Phil Herden.
Yeah, it was. It was a 7-goal final quarter. And Rocks kicked 4 goals into the breeze and actually won the final quarter St. Peter's kicking 3 goals for. So it was Rocks by 21 points at the first break. St. Peter's with the breeze and keeping Rocks scoreless in the second, had a 2-point lead at halftime. Rocks, they're only leading by about 3 points midway through, but kicked the last 3 to have a 17-point lead at three-quarter time. And as mentioned, won the final quarter. The scores are correct. Put it in the books. Rostrevor back in Division 1 after a 2-year hiatus in Div 2. The defending Div 2 champs will have a crack at the Div 1 Premiership. They will take on the loser of Port District and Golden Grove. Looks like the Kookaburras next week. For SPOC, season done. They'll be disappointed they couldn't find the finals win, but certainly a big move up the ladder this year gives them something to celebrate.
Certainly does. Well wrapped up, Phil Herden. Been a brilliant afternoon here at the Carter Oval. Unfortunately, one team can only make that preliminary final. And this year it is Rostrevor. So the 2 Division 2 champions in 2023 and 2024 will go up in a prelim next week, Phil. And that's why we love promotion and relegation. Great to see these 2 clubs get rewarded, albeit that game's still an open game there down at the district, but suspect that'll be wrapped up pretty shortly. Been a wonderful afternoon. We might go through the goal kickers, Phil.
Yep. Now this might be interesting. Yeah, I've got you. I might add up. So for Rocks, might want to check this with me. I had 3 to McCormick, all second half. 2 to Wakeland, singles to Lanzoni, Baldwin, Murata, Wharton, Best and Boxer. How does that match up with yours?
Best and Boxer. I had I haven't got one for Darcy Best, so that makes sense because I had 3 for Finn Wakeland.
Yeah, I reckon he kicked 2. I could be wrong. I'll check for you in a sec. For St. Peter's, 2 to Johnny Reid, singles to Ty Bedford, Harvey George, Scott Bedford, Ed Allen and Ben Bell. Perio was probably the pick of them for the boys in blue.
Certainly was. It's going to be hard to pick the best players at both teams because there was a stack of contributors from both sides. A wonderful game, and be interesting to see if that yellow card made a difference at three-quarter time, Phil, because
it was 2 of your prime movers.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, totally agree with you. We'll never know.
No, and it wasn't like Ed Allen and Nelligan came out fresh because would have had 17-minute break. Should have been super fresh. If they'd have come back out and dominated for 5 minutes, who knows? But they had a few touches, but not worthy. As you can probably hear it, the crowd super cheering on Rocks, who've they won at the Chateau last week, coming from behind. This time it was about holding a lead, pretty much. And they will give Golden Grove or Port District all they can handle next week, which will be at a neutral venue.
Do we know which venue that's going to be yet, Phil? Has that been determined?
It has not been officially announced, so far be it from me to break embargoes, and besides that, I don't actually know.
So the Rostrevor train has claimed another victim. Sacred Heart last week in the elimination final, and today St. Peter's. So 2 very impressive away wins. They have been in one of the form teams of the second half of the season. They had a 5-4 record and would have been in 6th position after 9 games at the halfway mark. And I've won, I think it's 9 out of their last 11 now.
Yeah.
To be one of the most informed teams.
I mean, they've defeated
Footy League Division 1.
Salisbury North, Sacred Heart 3 times, Port District, St. Peter's 2 times. The only side they haven't beaten this year is Golden Grove. They lost by 36 at home back in round 8. It just went down by 3 points at Harper's Field about 3 weeks ago. So giving Golden Grove Lukes as their likely opponent. Still to be confirmed. Well, who's to say they can't do it? They've certainly got some movers and shakers. I mean, Tramford's coming in, is really giving them bite. James Wharton, the midfield, is good. They've got one of the premier ruckmen in Butterworth, and they've got players up forward. I mean, McCormick was quiet for a half, but then he kicked 3 critical goals. Finn Wakeland, the way that he gets in position to take marks is exceptional. Jet Boxer may be a quieter game than last week, but still kicked a goal. And then you've got guys like Ryan Lim, Charles Kemp, Paddy Dawson in defence, and I haven't even mentioned the captain until now, Stefan Lanzoni. That's a lot of players who can be match winners on their day.
Yeah, I love the game of Swanbury down back as well. He was really impressive, and Shooter was great as well. They got a stack of very even team. Rostrevor, and very impressive today.
Do you want to thank our sponsors?
Yes, we will. And big thank you to our sponsors, Filming Footy Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, custom by ORTC, High 5E Bikes, Dartfish, Archies, yet to be decided, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts, and the Farmers Leap Winery there at Pathway for the Coach of the Week award, and also the $50 voucher will go to the best play on the ground this afternoon. They'll get a pineapple voucher to the Gully Hotel, the public house and garden. Jeez, I don't know. I might leave it with you, Phil. You're far more experienced. I'm going to pass the buck. Because I think you might
we'll have a chat off air. You'll have to check socials to see who we come up with.
All right. It's been Matty Gale and Phil Herden on call. Big thank you to Harry the Horse and all the team back there at headquarters. Filming Footy bringing you the clashes again, and another monster here at the Caterer, where it was the Rostrevor Old Collegians by 21 points. They're up by 21 at quarter time, down by 2 at the half-time as they ate the oranges, and they got themselves back in a winning position with a 17-point lead at three-quarter time. St. Peter's, Gallen in defeat, and sayonara for them for 2025. But for Rostrevor Old Collegians, bigger fish to fry, and a preliminary match-up against Golden Grove next week. We'll see you at the footy. Big thank you to Filming Footy.